Do a lot of, of course the wind's blowing crazy now. I do a lot of fishing with lightweight equipment, and one of my favorite rods is my one weight Maxcatch rod. And if you ever get into fishing with a light fly rod, you're gonna find out real quick that most of the big flies you buy in the stores, you really can't throw on that one weight line. They're just too heavy, right? So you can always tie your own, and I came up with you want a small popper. You can catch big fish on a one-weight rod. You just got to set your drag right. So it really has nothing to do about the size of the fish. You can't catch no huge fish on it, but you can catch a nice size. I've caught almost 1.5 pound bass on a one-weight rod. So a little bitty popper like that's very easy to throw on that one-weight rod. When you get into your bigger poppers, you get into a popper like this size, you really can't throw that on a one-weight rod. The lines just won't load to throw that big one. You'll have a really hard time. And even on some of the mid-size ones, like this one right here, this popper right here, even that popper, you would have a considerably hard time throwing that on a one-weight rod, because it would just catch too much air and it's difficult to throw. So you really need to stick to a smaller popper like that. And I've tied them smaller than this, but for display we'll tie it this size. So I have a size 14 hook in there. That's just a dry fly straight eye. The straight eyes, I find it easier to put the foam on. Now the foam we're using, I punch these with the little punches you get from Harbor Freight. I got a video showing how to make these. So basically for the back of the fly, we're going to use we're going to make it kind of look like a little frog. So we can put down a base of thread. And I usually go to about the hook point and stop. All right. I'm going to go back. And then go back to the hook point again. That's gonna be our thread for the front right there. Put just a little bit of liquid nails on it. Well, with hardly no wind at all, if I get out here and start tying, and of course we get 20 mile/hour gusts, of course. All right, so we're going to use this black and yellow hackle. Like I said, we're going to try to keep these flies to where they're not going to catch way too much wind, because if it catches too much wind, you're going to have a really hard time throwing it. Let's strip off a little bit more back here. Get that tied in. There we go. Just enough to give it a little fluff butt in the back. Cut that excess off right there. Alright, so basically looking at that. You could probably put a little bit more fluff in the back there if you wanted to. We might put a little bit of, you might put just a little bit of black in the back. So a little bit of black in the back there. All right. All right, for the hackle, I'm gonna use the Indian Rooster saddle. Catch one of these little white strands. It's a pretty day. We'll go ahead and spread this out a little bit. Go ahead and catch that in there. Alright, so basically looking at that right there. You got your back, you got your hackle ready. Now I'm going to put the foam head on. I want to kind of judge this foam head because you don't want to overcrowd the hook. I mean the eye of the hook. To make it really difficult to get on. So basically, I'm going to take some super glue here. And I said it before, I like using the gel super glue because it's just not as quite as messy. Alright, and we're just going to slip that on. Slip it on and get it a little bit past the hook shank right there. The hook shank, I mean the hook eye. If it's not perfect, that's pretty, doesn't matter because you can always push this foam back when you go to tie your fly on. As long as you can see it. Alright. Let's put this fly in the case right there. Get my hackle pliers here. Go ahead and start wrapping that around. A couple good little wraps. Alright. I should have. There we go. A couple more little wraps right there just to get that hackle spread out. There we go. I should be using lighter thread for this, but I'm not. 2, 3, 4 wraps. Get that on there. Go ahead and cut that off. So it's looking pretty buggy at the moment. Let's go put some man, did I? All right. Put a little bit of liquid nails in there. There we go. Just enough to hit the thread. All right. Now you can stop there because that's a little popper right there. Or you can get fancy schmancy with it. You can put in some eyeballs with a marker. There you go. Put some eyeballs on it. Put a couple little black dots on the belly. Just like a frog, a couple little black dots. I don't usually put legs on mine because I try to keep them light, but just for demonstration, we'll go ahead and put legs. I'm going to take my little, I think somebody told me one time this is a Hackle Separator. It's made for separating feathers. I just use it as a little punch. Go punch it through the body. We're going to come out the other side just like that. So you're kind of looking at that. Go ahead and pull it out. All right. And I use my threader. I actually don't even use that for the thread, and I use it for what I'm doing this right now. I'm putting legs and popper bodies. Just makes it easy. So I run it through like that. I take the leg and stick it through the little threader right here and just pull it right on through. Makes it easy, smeezy. All right. So we're looking at that right there. So that's a little one little leg going through. We're gonna take some super glue. Put a little super glue dab right there where the leg hits the body. There we go. Cut that down to where it's somewhat even. There we go. Very simple little popper. Very simple lightweight popper. Easy to throw on a one-weight rod. Get your little hackle in the back like that. Looks like little wings. Very easy to throw.